Hello, guys. We're doing this again. Again, we're doing this again. So, okay, that just expired. So, there was a tornado warning for parts of Chicago. That's now gone. There was some tide rotation there. You can kind of see it. But now there's a tornado warning that does exist for Wisconsin here. For Waupun, Wisconsin. You see that rotation? Very, very tight. Very strong. Not very well. It's sufficient for a tornado warning, though I don't know why radar scope hates me, but or GR2 analyst. I don't know why GR2 analyst hates me, but for some reason it will just not let me view other frames, and I don't know why that is. Radar scope's not letting me do that either. I'm not sure what its deal is. Oh wait, hold on. Let me change the stream info on Twitch. There we go. But yeah, so tornado warning in effect for Waupun, Wisconsin here. You can kind of see that rotation there. It's very, very rain wrapped and it's sort of back up in there. Not a clear inflow channel. But it is certainly rotating. You can obviously tell it's rotating. Oh, okay. Most recent radar frame kind of looks not good. Doesn't look very good anymore. Rotation's sort of dying down now. But I do want to do some forecasting. So I don't really know what to expect from today other than looking at the Storm Prediction Center. So what we will do is we will do some forecasting after this tornado warning expires, though. So for now, tornado warning remains in effect for Waupun, Wisconsin. Take shelter immediately. Some large hail in the storm as well. Very, very juicy RFD. Huge amount of rain and hail just in that. Oh my God. Ryan Hall and Max Velocity, they look this is actually ridiculous. Their thumbnails are almost identical. Like I thought for some reason YouTube was like glitching out. Fox 10 Phoenix. They're it says just vibing on um their thing. Hi, magnitude 5.6 earthquake struck California. Did it? Let's see. Earthquake. Oh yeah, I see that. Thankfully, it does look like it's mostly rural areas. Maybe a little bit of shaking. Some more intense shaking near. Oh, okay, never mind. There are some towns that are really close. Ooh, it's not good. Remember this one time when I was at my sister's volleyball game and there was a very weak earthquake that struck and we could feel it. What? Why was I at a higher tilt? That's so weird. Also kind of annoying. Yeah, no, this doesn't look like it meets tornado warning criteria anymore. Possibly right here, but I don't really believe it's rotating at least all that much anymore. We'll watch right here though. But after this tornado warning goes away, we'll do some forecasting. Sorry, hold on. Okay, never mind, I guess. Achoo, sorry. Woo. Tornado warning still in effect for Alto and Waupun, Wisconsin, but again, those areas are mostly out of the risk area, not too much to worry about, at least anymore for those regions. This area rotation is mostly just going to be moving through mostly rural areas for now until around Burnett, Kikoski, and Mayville, as well as Horicon. Oh, there's a tornado warning for, where's that? Northeastern Colorado. Yeah, so you can see the rotation here, rotation right here. Nice inflow notch here. We're very far from the radar site though, very, very far. So it might struggle a little bit to actually see it within like clear detail, but there is a tornado warning for Proctor and Crook, Colorado. Again, Proctor and Crook, Colorado. You can kind of see the rotation there. Again, very far from the radar site, so we can't really get too many details on it. There's a very large hail in this storm as well, with this icon so it's saying 2.35 inches. So tornado isn't the only possibly life-threatening thing associated with the storm. Tuesday, June 30th? Are you kidding me? It took an entire week turnaround. Why? I don't understand. I was supposed There's a reason why I put the delivery location where it is. Only for them to pull that stunt? That's annoying. Certainly won't be doing business with these guys anymore. Yeah, look at that rotation there. Ooh, man. But yeah, it's definitely rotating towards the surface as well. Just look at that mesocyclone. See the entire thing rotating. Okay, well, I guess you can't see it because I'm on the volume viewer, but let me switch it to that real fast. Here. Look at this. You can see that mesocyclone rotating. In the upper areas of the atmosphere, especially as it shears there. Damn. I think it's definitely going to be rotating at the surface, no doubt. The tornado warnings definitely deserved for this thing. Again, tornado warning does remain in effect for Proctor and Crook. Again, Proctor and Crook, Colorado. Two-and-a-half-inch hail. That's huge. They continue the tornado warning for the storm in Wisconsin. Take a look at that real fast. Weird. Okay, I mean, you certainly see that it is rotating just above the surface as well. I'm not entirely too certain that this really constitutes a tornado warning, though. Tornado warning has been extended for. Why would they shape it like that? Why would they do that? I'm tornado warning extended for Burnett, Kokoski, Mayville, Horicon, Juneau, and Iron Ridge, Wisconsin. And if you live in those affected areas, please take shelter immediately. You can kind of see it hooking here. I need a drawing tool. I need some sort of drawing thing. All right, hold on here. I'm trying to. Install Epic Pen. Hey, would you look at that? I do not need an activation code. No, why would it do that? It's a toolbar. Okay, well, screw this. Um, hmm. It does look very outflow dominant right now. I'm not entirely certain as to why the National Weather Service did extend this tornado warning. Of just how outflow dominant it currently looks. When it's rotating a little bit into the upper levels of that mesocyclone, as you saw in the volume viewer, this looks very outflow dominant. There's no clear inflow, and leads me to why did it switch to what? Why did it switch to radar scope? Did I close it by accident? I guess I did minimize GR2 analyst by accident, but looks very outflow dominant here. No obvious inflow notch, so I can't really imagine that the rotation would be strong enough or receiving enough warm air to actually produce some sort of tornado. So I'm not too certain why they extended the tornado warning and why they extended it like this as well. Because like the majority of this is RFD. I'm very curious what goes through the brains of the National Weather Service, like operators and like warning issuers whenever they issue warnings like that, where they're mostly warning the RFD. Like I'm very curious. I mean, they are the professionals, but I feel like they should know better. What type of payment just came out of my account? I'd be very annoyed. The fuck? The hell? Charges this? Google. Google One. Yeah, what? It's weird. How would that go out? Wait, what even is that? I'm so confused. Okay, they updated the warning, so it's a little bit more sane. It does look like it might be trying to get inflow going again, possibly. You can kind of see it punching back in here. We need to watch that because it might try to get inflow going again. But this does not line up. This is not what should be tornado warned. This shouldn't be tornado warned. Right here, this shouldn't be. But I just had some payment come out. I'm genuinely confused as to what it even was. Very odd. They did update the tornado warning though, so it only includes Kokoski, Mayville. I think they included Theresa in that, and still includes Huracan. The tornado warning does continue for those areas. We're gonna go check back on that one tornado warning in Colorado. Oh, okay. We did have a better radar sight. Look at that hook. You see RFD surging out as well. Look at that rotation. Thankfully, Proctor and Crook are no longer within the warning zone, or no longer within the big area of concern. They're mostly just going to have the threat for hail now, large hail. But Fleming and Hoxton might be next on the chopping block. Might also need to watch here as well, because that might be another couplet trying to develop. Once these tornado warnings goes away, we can start forecasting. Couple of bigger storms going popping up here with a very large hail across Nebraska. Two little storms here, very large hail in them. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Keystone, Ogallala, and Rosk, with some large hail in those storms as well. Nebraska, and a storm near Lodgepole, Sunol, and just to the west of Chapel with some decently large hail in it as well. But we'll continue to watch this tornado warning storm. I will keep an eye on the other storm on radar scope here. The other tornado warning storm near or in Wisconsin. But right now the rotation is very, very weak. It is not, I really don't find it to be like substantial enough to require a tornado warning. Hold on, let me fix our view of this. There's a little bit of contamination there. It's making it a little bit hard to see. You can really see that nice hook there going in. It is becoming very rain wrapped though. Look at that hook. It does appear to look like it's about to move out of the warning zone though. So they will probably extend the warning for Fleming and Daly if they believe that it is reasonable to do so. The other tornado warning for Kokoski, Theresa, and Mayville, Wisconsin is still ongoing. So they will probably cancel it here soon. Like, I really don't know why they continue the tornado warning. It is very outflow dominant. Lots of colors. There is. There are a lot of colors, especially on the velocity side. Storms are very slow moving. I need to watch this. It might be trying to do a left split near Crook. Looks like there might be a updraft going up in there. Surely they don't extend the Kokoski tornado warning. The Wisconsin Oh, okay. There's now a confirmed tornado on the ground with this storm in Colorado here again. Confirmed tornado just to the south of Proctor and Crook. Law enforcement confirmed tornado, damaging tornado. Again, if you live in Proctor and Crook. Even though the storm was mostly to the south, probably should at least get indoors given the fact that there's hail. However, there shouldn't really be too much of a threat of a tornado for Proctor and Crook, given how slow moving that the storm is, and it's also to the south already. So it's going to be moving through most of the rural areas, but this is a law enforcement confirmed tornado. So there is a tornado currently ongoing with this storm. Yeah, that's Proctor and Crook confirmed tornado on the ground. Though we can't really see it with correlation coefficient because of how far it is from the radar site. But again, law enforcement confirmed tornado. Proctor and Crook probably be taking shelter, even though the storm is to the south. I don't know what the storm motion might look like today. So it might move back north. I don't really know. If anything, the updraft might deviate up to the north and put Proctor and Crook in an area of concern. So again, you should probably be taking shelter if you're in the tornado warning. Again, Proctor and Crook, Colorado. They did extend the tornado warning for now Fleming, Colorado. Again, confirmed tornado on the ground. Fleming, Colorado, take shelter immediately. And then outside of just a tornado threat, there is huge hail on the storm as well, 3.14-inch hail. So should probably be taking shelter regardless. Surely they cancel the Kokoski, Mayville, and Theresa tornado warning. I don't know why that's still going. It does not look good. It looks horrible. It's very outflow dominant. I really don't see rotation. I mean, there's rotation, but it's very weak, very broad as well. I'm talking about the one in Wisconsin, not this. I can't really say a whole lot about this storm because we are so far from the radar site. It's really hard to tell. Yeah, I can't really see too much of a tornado threat with the Kokoski or the tornado warning in Wisconsin right now. But again, confirmed tornado warning, or sorry, confirmed tornado on the ground with Fleming. Colorado, again, tornado on the ground. Law enforcement confirmed tornado. Please take shelter immediately. It's very hard to tell with the radar here. I'll see if I can get any sort of other confirmation, like via Twitter, if there's any photos or anything. Yeah, okay, you can see the rotation right here, though. There's certainly rotation with this storm. And it's very hard to see because of how far away it is from the radar side, but that's why you should take it with even more concern, given the uncertainty with the storm and the fact that it is law enforcement confirmed tornado. And that's Fleming, Colorado. Sure if there's any other tornado warnings. Yeah, there's not outside the one in Wisconsin, which I'm not going to show you. I don't see any. I don't see anything important with it. This storm is certainly important, though. This one is. Again, confirmed tornado here. Nearing the town of Fleming, Colorado. Again, take shelter immediately. Oh my god. Sorry, I've had something. Ooh, it's so stupid. Why is it suddenly automatic? Okay. Tornado latest. Ooh. Not seeing any photos. Just a whole bunch of automated bot messages about the tornado warning. But this supercell from a distance is insanely beautiful. I'm seeing a lot of photos of it. I don't think there's really any sort of chasers underneath this thing to really confirm whether or not it's actually on the ground. But again, it is a law enforcement confirmed tornado. You can see that rotation there, certainly rotating. So it is a confirmed tornado. and you should certainly treat it as such, even if we can't really get too much intel on it based on how far away it is from the radar site. Which is why you should treat it with even more urgency, given the fact that we don't really have as much information about it or on it. So again, please take shelter immediately if you live in the affected area. Again, that's Fleming, Colorado. Look at that rotation there. Right there. Look at that. We can't get radar confirmation that's on the ground, but again, it is a law enforcement confirmed tornado, which is why you should treat it as such. There is a confirmed tornado on the ground. And that's for Fleming, Colorado. These storms are moving extremely slowly, though. The tornado warning for Crook and Proctor has finally expired. Not sure when they're going to expire the tornado warning for Mayville, Wisconsin. I really don't know what they're doing there with that. Yeah, look at that rotation. That hook as well, that inflow notch. See that hook coming around here. What's the severe thunderstorm with the tour possible? What? That has tour possible? Why is that considered tour possible? I don't get it. Of course reflectivity, or of course velocity isn't gonna... Oh, I see why it's tour possible. Yeah, I know that makes sense now. But again, tornado warning does continue for Fleming, Colorado. Confirmed tornado as well. And Rot's kind of having a hard time. Switch to storm relative velocity. Okay. Does look like it is having a bit of a hard time rotating. You can see based on storm relative velocity that there isn't really a whole lot of rotation going on in the upper levels of this storm. Like, really not a whole lot either. If I can show you the volume explorer real fast, let me switch something. I need to switch something over to volume explorer. Actually, let me. Okay, I have to pull it up like this first. I pull up the volume explorer. If I pull it up, I want to let me switch to volume explorer. There it is. Okay, volume explorer. Boom! Look at that. So you see how it's cut off here towards the bottom of the storm. That's because of how far away it is from the radar site. We are really only able to get the top part of the storm because of how far away it is from the radar site, but you can see just how powerful the storm is. Like this is a powerful storm. And it's making it a little bit difficult to really tell whether or not it's actually rotating or not because of just simply because of how far away it is from the radar site. We cannot get a good view of what's going on towards the surface. But if we see strong rotation towards the upper levels, then it is relatively safe to assume that we probably have some strong rotation towards the surface. There's strong rotation in the upper levels. However, the rotation towards the upper levels is beginning to die out here. So I'm not really too sure what that looks like for the surface, but might be also causing it to die out towards the surface as well. But for the meantime, tornado warning does continue for Fleming. Look, there it is. Tornado confirmed by fire department. There's our tornado report. There is now a tornado report that indicates that this thing was confirmed. Tornado report. That's not. Oh no, I do not want echo tops. You see, it's certainly trying to rotate here. That's mostly out of the warning area. It's also sort of trying to rotate here. Sort of. But tornado warning does continue for Fleming, Colorado for the meantime. Okay, the tornado warning in Wisconsin finally expired. already been live for almost an hour, and I haven't been able to do the forecasting because we've been having to watch these tornado warnings. But that's okay. There are quite a few isolated, messy discrete storms ongoing near Chicago right now that we should probably keep an eye on. Some of them are trying to rotate. I think this one might have a Tor possible signature on it. No, it does not. I don't know what the surface-based cape looks like. I know nothing about the current setup, other than the fact that we're supposed to see a lot of lead troughing, or not lead troughing, but a whole lot of lack of strong surface-based winds and low-level jet, and more of a hail threat today. I know that much. You can certainly still see that hook there, though. You see two hooks as well. Might be trying to do a left split. I can't really tell. But you can see that there are two individual couplets. One here and one here. Two individual inflow notches. The southern one being more dominant, but we might need to watch the northern ones. Sort of did what I thought it was going to do. Yeah, that updraft sort of split. And now it's being pulled back along the RFT while the southern one becomes more dominant. We need to watch it though. Still have some massive hail regardless for a lot of these other storms. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, we might need to watch that too. That might also be trying to rotate, but that's almost 4-inch diameter hail. 3.91 inch on the severe thunderstorm warning for Granted Madrid, Nebraska. What about in Wyoming? This one is mostly damaging wind gusts. This one has some hail in it, I think. Let's see. Oh, I don't want that. Where's the... I forgot what product it is. Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, look at that. Okay, we'll go back down here. They did drop it. Oh, wait, no, there's another storm that's tornado warned. We have another tornado warning for Grover, for Grover, Colorado. If you live in Grover, Colorado, please take shelter immediately. You can kind of see that hook echo here and then that inflow notch as well. Can't really see the rotation. If we bring it up oops, not that one. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, there's a lot of contamination for some reason. But tornado warning now in effect for Grover, Colorado. Again, take shelter immediately. And the tornado warning for the other storm, with that confirmed tornado, is still continuing. There are a lot of warnings. Yeah, there are a lot of tornado warnings. We did have a 5% tornado threat, 5% tornado risk. No SIG intensity, just SIG 0. So kind of to be expected. We were gonna have a stronger low level jet. I know that we are supposed to see a stronger low level jet across this region today than we have seen over the last couple of days. So this is going to lead to an increased tornado risk, especially given the immense amount of not convective inhibition. I almost said convective inhibition. The immense amount of CAPE across this region. It's just such a volatile environment. Just a little bit of shear, and they're ready to go. The tornado warning now in effect for Grover. Here, I'll monitor these on my other monitor while I forecast, because we do need a forecast. But that other tornado warning did continue for Daly and Haxton, Colorado. But the area of rotation is going to be mostly moving through rural areas for now. But it is still a confirmed tornado, still being warned as a confirmed tornado, so it should be treated as such. Weather spotter confirmed tornado. Look at that rotation. It's kind of weirdly placed. Not really too certain that's rotation actually. Should be looking here. Oh, oops, what did I do? Okay. I'll monitor both tornado warnings while we do some forecasting. We'll start with the SPC outlooks, and then let me also pull up the mesoanalysis. Give me just a couple of seconds. Pivotal weather. Okay, great. Okay. It won't let me choose pivotal weather. It's weird. There we go. Why is that like that? There we go. That looks good. Okay. We'll just use the most recent ARRR run for this. But here's our upper level, or here's our mid-level winds. You can see nice trough advection. There's not really a whole lot of a trough, but there is a 500 millibar jet streak upwards of 50 knots that's overlapping the environment. It's not entirely overlapping, it's sort of off to the north, but it is providing enough synoptic lift to get our storms going. We also have some weaker 500 millibar flow associated with a little bit of a short wave that's it's down south. This is going to be giving the threat for some isolated to scattered severe thunderstorms across more to the Rocky region, across Utah, and then western Colorado and New Mexico, but then also even further south into Oklahoma, Panhandle, western Texas later on this afternoon. But quite significant, or not significant, but sufficient synoptic lift for severe threat across Wyoming and Colorado, and definitely going to provide that shear for that hail risk as well. Across Wisconsin and Illinois, a lot of the same thing. Do have a bit weaker flow, but 30 and 40 knots is certainly sufficient for enough synoptic lift for severe thunderstorms, as we already see that ongoing. And that jet streak is going to move into the region later on, ramp up some of those storms, but probably be too late by the time that jet streak actually arrives to really improve severe weather conditions. Quite a lot of strong 200 millibar flow here, upwards of 80 to 90 knots. Going to be elongated photographs quite a lot across Wyoming and northern Colorado. Like just this random simulated photograph sounding. Look at the tail on that thing. That's long as hell. Not a whole lot of curvature in the low levels of the photograph, but we'll look at that later. But definitely some massive hail we're going to see come out of this. That hail risk is going to diminish the further south you go, as we see weaker flow across Texas further south. Could see a little bit of a hail threat develop or materialize across the Rockies into Utah and Colorado, where that slight risk is, given the stronger flow aloft and some of the elongated photographs there. Let's see. Across Wisconsin, Illinois, again around the Chicago area and southern Wisconsin, we have quite a lot of strong 200 millibar flow as well. So elongated photographs should lead to that hail risk. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. 700 millibars. We can go to. Hold on, I just need a moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. My God. Okay, so low level jet here. Do have a little bit of a weak low level jet across the Rocky, or not the Rockies, across the high plains. should see some curvature in the low levels of the photograph come out of that, especially around where where those two storms that are currently tornado warned are currently ongoing. Definitely enough directional shear as a result of this semi-marginal low-level jet. You can see very inflated curvature in the low levels of the photograph. First sneeze, no. But then also coupled with the extremely long tails of the photograph here, going to lead to not only that risk for very large hail, but also the threat for tornadoes as well, especially given our rather sufficient Cape profile. Ton of instability in the atmosphere here. Doesn't look to be too overmixed either. And then cross Illinois, Wisconsin do have a weaker low-level jet, but it is definitely there, putting some curvature in the low levels of the photograph. Perhaps a little bit of directional shear might fuel a little bit of a tornado threat, but nothing too substantial across Wisconsin, Illinois. We can also take it a step further down to 850 millibar. You can see very, very weak low-level jet across Wisconsin, Illinois, but we do have a quite substantial low-level jet that's going to be more than sufficient for that tornado risk across the high plains. Drop it down to our temperatures here for the rest of our thermodynamic profile. Okay, well, I'm just going to look at some quick composite parameters for Illinois and Wisconsin just really quickly because it's more of a lesser threat. Yeah, okay. So the ingredients are certainly there for tornadoes across northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin, especially across southern Illinois or northern Illinois, central Illinois within the next couple of hours. Could see more of a tornado threat develop and materialize into northern Wisconsin there. Pulling a simulated sound, you can see a little bit of curvature stuff is sufficient for that tornado risk in the low levels of the photograph, and quite sufficient Cape profile as well. Very nice moist layer as well. Not a lot of convective inhibition either. So definitely see a tornado threat that develops and materializes over the next couple of hours, maybe 2, 3, 4 hours across Illinois. SIGTOR. Let's look at SIGTOR just real fast. Yeah, a lot of the same thing. Just verifying that tornado threat. What about convective inhibition? I am curious about that for this region. Storms certainly might struggle as we get into like the later afternoon hours and later evening hours across Illinois, as we see a little bit more convective inhibition get put in place. Definitely could lead to some struggling for storms. However, the ingredients will certainly be there for tornadoes. It's just whether or not if those storms will be able to tap into those ingredients or not. And as far as what the convective mode looks like, it does look like storms are mostly going to be discrete, semi-discrete, maybe a little messy, but mostly discrete. You see a decent tornado threat develop across northern Illinois later this afternoon. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook. We do have a enhanced risk for Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado here, as well as a slight risk for Wisconsin, Illinois. Or did I say Wisconsin? I meant Wyoming. But we also do have a slight risk for Wisconsin, Illinois, and parts of northern Indiana, and then another slight risk for Nevada and Utah there, including the Salt Lake City metro region. And then slight risk extending across the rest of eastern Colorado, parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, Panhandle, and then eastern New Mexico and western Texas. And then a separate marginal threat that extends, separate marginal threat for Florida, but also a marginal threat that extends across a great portion of the Central Plains down to Oklahoma, and then also into Arkansas, the Mississippi River Valley, the lower Mississippi River Valley, some of the Dixie states as well, like Mississippi and Alabama, as well as Louisiana. Tornado threat today does include a 5% tornado risk for Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado there, right along the border region between those three states. And so we could see a couple of tornadoes, but we do have Sig 0 intensity. Shouldn't really see too much of a threat for strong tornadoes, though, given the lack of strong shear. 2% tornado threat for the slight risk and a great portion of the marginal risk across the Midwest, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana, even parts of Michigan. Then a small 2% tornado threat for southeastern Oklahoma and the Red River Valley, just right into the Arklatex area there. Wind, damaging wind, we have a Sig 1 for both a slight risk across more of the Rockies, Nevada, and Utah, and then also a Sig 1, 15% for the high plains, and then a 15% for Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and parts of Indiana there. So what that means, just scatter risk for damaging wind gusts. Sig 1 mostly meaning the possibility of some strong damaging wind gusts, possibly ranging around 70 to 80 miles per hour, I'd imagine. And our hail threat, this is what's going to be our primary risk for today. We do have a Sig 2 hail risk that does include the entire enhanced risk region. That is what is driving the enhanced risk region for today. The Sig 2 across not only that 30% risk for large hail, but also the 15% back in Nebraska and parts of Colorado. But 15%, what 30% means is more of a widespread risk for large hail. And also Sig 2, definitely going to be quite substantial threat for large hail across the high plains today. That's going to be what we need to watch for the most, because it could be quite damaging. We are seeing a higher threat for some larger hailstones. Not only a higher threat for hail, but also the threat for larger hail with these storms that we've seen over the last couple of days. So definitely need to watch for that. That's our primary risk for today. But then we also have a 15% risk for some hail across Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana. Hello, Bennett WX. Welcome to the live stream. I'm kind of just going over the forecast for today and forecasting before we actually dive back into watching the weather. But 15% for Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana. No Sig intensity, just some scattered large hail possible there. Tomorrow, Sig 2, or sorry, Sig 1, 5% for the Kansas, Oklahoma border region, southern Kansas, northern Oklahoma, tornado risk for tomorrow. But we do have a slight risk tomorrow. A lot of the high plains and then into the central plains as well. Extending as far as into Missouri and Arkansas. Wind risk is just a 50% for tomorrow. No Sig intensity, so just some scattered damaging wind gusts. That could be severe, mostly around 60 miles per hour, maybe approaching 70 miles per hour. Hail, unhatched, 15% for the lower half of that risk. So some scattered large hail for the southern portions of that risk. For day 3, also, which would be the 26th, marginal risk for high plains, and then also the same region for severe thunderstorms tomorrow, and then also for the New England states as well. Across Massachusetts. Join my Discord. Oh, thank you, dude. I haven't really been a whole too active in there, but it's there for stuff. Just haven't really been too active in it. I'd like to start using it more, just don't really know what I do with it. Our day 4 to day 8 outlook, we have nothing except for day 4, 15%. So that's the equivalent of a slight risk for the northern plains there. So the possibility of some scattered severe thunderstorms for the northern plains on the 27th, which is Saturday, which we'll probably certainly go live for. But back to forecasting, or actually looking at models other than the Storm Prediction Center's forecast. Go back to the high plains here so we can get a clearer look. So thermodynamic profile, we already looked at um the wind profile, synoptic profile. I'll be active in there if you'd like. I mean, it's really up to you. I mean, it's more or less up to you, to be honest, given that there's not really a whole lot of people there, so there's not really a whole lot to be active with. I also am thinking about getting rid of the weather alerts thing. It's just not really something I can readily update. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, I'm back, sorry. So temperatures do got quite warm temperatures across this region. 80 degrees, mid 80 degrees, and then some warmer temperatures further south. Also a little bit of a surface low down there. Up to 90 degrees, maybe even approaching 100 degrees in some areas down towards western Texas. Definitely sufficient for quite a lot of instability. If you look at our dew points as well, quite a lot of moisture as well. It's more marginal across the high plains, but it's definitely sufficient for some severe weather, certainly. Thankfully, it doesn't look like we'll have too much moisture, which will prevent overmixing. Mid-level lapse rates here. Quite strong mid-level lapse rates. Definitely going to assist with that hail risk quite a lot. What our mid-level lapse rates for do for hail is basically lapse rates, how quickly the temperature decreases with height. So you see a steeper angle, or not a steeper angle, a shallower angle with the temperature line as we get towards our 700 to 500 millibar area of our sounding, which not only encourages air to rise faster, increasing instability, but also because it gets colder much faster as you rise in the atmosphere, it allows for hail to form a lot easier and much closer to the surface as well, allowing for hailstorms to get really massive. So not only does that help with instability, but also helps with hail in turn as well. So it's kind of a double whammy with that, and then that's going to extend further south as well, across the high plains of Texas, Oklahoma, Panhandle, New Mexico. Convective inhibition. Let's look at that. So we already do have quite a lot of convective inhibition across this region. It might impinge on storms, might infringe on storms a little bit, but it doesn't really look like it's doing a whole lot to really limit storm potential. It might limit storms later on as it increases in strength later on in the afternoon, but yeah, might become more of a problem later on. It might limit our tornado potential, especially further south where we don't see as much shear. It will certainly limit our tornado potential down into Oklahoma and Texas, and then southeastern Colorado as well. Storm relative velocity, just looking at our directional shear, again, decent enough low-level jet to kick off a tornado threat across the high plains. And we do have some decent directional shear as a result. 200 meters squared, second squared, or negative squared across the high plains there. Quite substantial curvature in the low levels of the photograph, so definitely gonna support that tornado risk. Observed tornado warning is now radar indicated. Sweet. Let's see. Oh yeah, I know you're right. It is. It was certainly on the downtrend, or since I last looked at it before I started forecasting. And it's also moving through mostly rural areas, so I sort of gave it the go ahead to kind of just sit and do its own thing while I forecast. But there is another tornado warning here towards the bottom of the enhanced risk. If we look at that, let me switch our source real fast. Boom. Look at that. Tornado warning. There's our rotation right there. It's a little bit difficult to see. It does look like it is mostly outflow dominant. Doesn't really seem like it has too much inflow going on here. But it's also for mostly rural areas. There are no towns I'm seeing, so there is huge hail in this thing. Like, look at that. That's, what is that? I can't really tell. At least 70 dBz. Wait, hold on. Let me decrease our tilt. Even at a lower tilt, it's kind of meh. Not a whole lot of inflow going on here. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised they tornado warned this. I mean, I'd understand if there was perhaps visual confirmation, but really it's not it. There's does appear to be rotation towards the upper level, the upper mesocyclone, certainly rotating quite decently. Perhaps we're just too far from the radar site. You can get a volume scan. You guys won't be able to see it, but I'll let you know what I see on the volume. It won't let me look at the volume explorer. It doesn't like me. Hold on. Okay, we're certainly able to get a little bit of a better view of the surface-based conditions, at least comparative to the other radar site in that other storm where there was it was radar confirmed, or not radar confirmed, it was a observed tornado, confirmed tornado, but it was really, we can see closer to the ground. Oh no, it doesn't really seem like there's too much inflow going on here, so I'm not surprised that the storm is kind of struggling. But yeah, tornado warning there for this storm here. We can, oh, I don't want that. Do not want volume explorer again. I mean, you can kind of see it there. Looks like inflow might be trying to punch in though. No, that was an older frame. It's outflow dominant. It's very outflow dominant. I'm not entirely certain why they tornado warned it. I mean, it was rotating towards the upper portions of the mesocyclone, but that's not the surface. The lower tilts are not giving us a whole lot. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't know why this one's still going as observed. We also don't have any other better radar site. It is like far from every single radar site. This one here is also barely rotating. I mean, you can tell that it has a hook and a little bit of an inflow notch there, but it's not really rotating. I wonder what they'll do with that tornado warning as it moves out of the polygon. All right, let's go back to forecasting. So again, quite sufficient directional shear for tornado risk, especially across rest of the risk area as well. further south could see a little bit of a tornado risk develop. However, that's when a lot of the convective inhibition begins to really take hold across a lot of the atmosphere when storms actually begin to move into this region. So will likely limit that tornado threat quite substantially. The convective inhibition will. Bulk shear though, you can see ton of bulk shear, especially off to the enhanced risk region area. Very elongated photographs. Definitely going to see a quite substantial risk for large hail and very large hail, like insanely large hail, possibly seeing upwards of 4-inch hailstones for a lot of these storms, given the speed shear on in the environment here. Quite insane upper level kinematic profile. An energy helicity index, we can look at our composites. Yeah, so I mean that doesn't really look too out of the ordinary. That's sort of what I expected. But there is quite the overlap of decent ingredients for tornadoes, quite the correlation as well. So again, tornado risk definitely does exist. I mean, you can sort of already tell that there are multiple tornado warnings ongoing. Though as time goes on, it does appear that within the next 4, I think roughly, yeah, 4-5 hours, it does look like storms are probably going to develop into more of an MCS-like feature across Nebraska and then move south, which is going to materialize into more of a damaging wind gust threat and large hail, possibly the threat for an embedded tornado, but that's when convective inhibition really gets a strong hold on a lot of the environment and will likely really make it difficult for those storms to rotate, especially given the fact that these storms will likely be outflow dominant at about that time. I can't really imagine there being too much of a tornado risk after that, but it's certainly possible. We will need to watch around Colorado and northern Illinois. Sorry, not Colorado. Northern Illinois, around Chicago, given the fact that there could be some sort of tornado threat that develops. But that's kind of all the forecasting I wanted to do. Actually, not all of it. I do want to check something out real fast. I want to see if other models are agreeing with the MCS solution. They sort of are. Name 3 kilometer isn't. Obviously, our FSA will. Tends to always do that. Okay, NAM3. Oh, never mind. It's HRRR. Whoopsie. NAM 3 kilometer for some reason hates MCS. That's okay. Okay, we can switch back to radar now. Let me hide that. Okay, there we go. So, no longer a tornado warning on this storm. Just kind of to be expected, given that it doesn't really look that conducive anymore. Down south here, it is trying to rotate here, sort of. Doesn't have inflow, though. It's having a really hard time with inflow. This tornado warning is still ongoing, surprisingly enough. It's very far from every single radar site, though. Yeah, they'll probably let that expire. Said it was no longer confirmed. Oh yeah, I know that's gonna expire. That's set to expire. Oh wait, never mind. That's the wrong warning. This one is radar indicated now. I guess it has an update on GR2 analyst. Oh, the GTA 6 price is confirmed apparently. Let me check. GTA 6 price. Okay, I think everyone probably could have guessed that. That's like actually the easiest price to guess. The GTA 6 price is $80. Okay, that tornado warning is expired now. Now we only have this one left. Which they will probably also let expire. Oops. I kind of want to increase the tilt on this. A ton of, just an insane amount of contamination right there. Right where the rotation would be. And there's that, but that just looks like contamination. Surprised they even gave this thing the tornado warning to begin with. If anything, I feel like they just did it just to be safe. Sorry, Penny, that went through my mic. I was watching something. Okay. Great. Whistling Diesel posted a new video, I think. Oh, he has a couple of videos I haven't seen yet. I mean, there is a tornado warning still ongoing, but it's not, doesn't really look very conducive, I'll be honest. I can't really see what they're warning. I can't really tell what they're warning either. There's not really any inflow. I mean, there is some. If this is the rotation, then I can see it sort of coming out the backside of the contamination. Hmm. Tornado warning does expire in 9 minutes, though. Otherwise, it is just considerable level severe thunderstorm warnings with the biggest hail that's being warned for. Looks like it's 2 inches so far. No, sorry, 2.5 inches. This is the rotation, I guess, coming out the backside of that area of contamination. This is the storm that has the 2.5-inch hail that's being warned for. Considerable severe, considerable severe thunderstorm warning. The little icon says 1.88 inches, 1.88. See if there's any sort of other radar site. I might be able to get a better look. Is that what they're warning for the tornado warning? I mean, it has to be. There's no other obvious area of rotation. New mesoscale discussion. What are these down here? Just some hailers. Messy hailers. 1.25 inches. 2-inch. What is this being warned for? Quarter-sized hail. Oh, max hail size 1 inch. Max wind gust 60, and then up here again, it's 1 inch. Okay. This is being okay warned for 2.5-inch hail just to the southeast of Grover. I wonder if they'll extend the warning. Something tells me they won't. Something tells me they won't extend the warning. Why do I keep getting notified about this post? I've already seen it. Yeah, I know they canceled the warning. No more tornado warning. That means for me is I can get back to editing. I can get back to editing on DaVinci Resolve. I was working on stuff there. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna put on some sort of music for you guys so you guys aren't listening to nothing. I can find my little music folder somewhere. Obviously, it has to be copyright free, unfortunately. So not gonna sound too amazing, but better than sitting in silence. Just have to find it. This. What? Okay. Good enough for me. Alright, guys. Have fun. I'm just gonna listen to the playback real fast just to make sure it's not too loud on the stream. Remember to pause it. I'll remember to pause it before speaking again. I'll also keep an eye on how long it's taking for it to actually finish. You know what? I should actually probably have something on screen. Just real fast. Here, we'll do this. Just throw something together real fast. Okay. This looks good. I know that the music ended. I'm doing this, trying to fix this. Boom. I'll put it where NROD is. Because ain't nobody paying attention to NROD except for me. Reversing the color on everything. There we go. That looks a lot better. I don't know why I haven't had something like this earlier. Okay, let's change the music. Okay, this might be a bit loud, but it's okay. Alright guys, you can listen to that. I'll make it a bit quieter. There we go. Okay, the music stopped. Oh, we have a tornado warning now. Okay. Let's see here. Tornado warning now in effect for Buckingham and Raymer, Colorado. Get a better radar sight. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Again, tornado warning now in effect for Buckingham and Raymer, Colorado. Currently radar indicated, but you can see wide inflow channel and it hooking around here. RFD definitely rotating up in there. Certainly trying to rotate. So if you live in Buckingham, Colorado, or Raymer, Colorado, please take shelter immediately. Again, that's Buckingham and Raymer. Okay, it looks kind of dumb near the surface. Let's get a volume scan. Okay, that's not working. Let's get a mesocyclone certainly rotating. Let me first hide this and change this to cross section. Turn it on. Boom. Look at this cross section. You can certainly see that the mesocyclone is definitely rotating right there. You can definitely see it rotating. Right there. And it's shearing off. So it's also, you can also visibly see it hooking around some more. Right here. Look at that. RFD punching around. It looks outflow dominant though. Storm is kind of struggling. It is wrapping up here though. It doesn't look like it is trying. I wonder if we'll have a cell merger here. This cell to the south. We'll watch and see what it does. It's very unorganized rotation there. It's very broad, not organized. Looks like we're also getting a cell merger as well. If anything, the inflow of this storm to the north is currently tornado warned is just ingesting all the outflow from the one to the south. It also looks more dominant to the south as well. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm kind of watching the bottom part of this storm. Or sorry, not this storm, but these two storms here. Because it does look like there might be a cell merger ongoing, but also looks like this updraft to the south is more robust. It might also be trying to develop an inflow channel as well. So, yep. Here we'll change the music. I don't know what this is, but you guys can listen to it. Yeah, the southern cell kind of killed it. Yeah, I'm not editing all this. I'm just not doing that. It's a lot to edit through. I need it to not be 10 p.m. if I'm gonna edit that much. Or I need to just to be automatic. Oh. Wait, what's my DaVinci Resolve version then? Okay, I can do it automatically. It will do it for me. I just don't know what my DaVinci Resolve version is. And it crashed. Do I have 20? I have 20. I don't know what version of 20 though. We'll just see if the features are there. Ripple, audio operations, ripple delete silences. It's here. Remove. See how this works. I do need to touch it up a little bit because it kind of sucked. It's okay. Timeline. Or not timeline, clip, audio operations. Ripple, delete silences. Whoops. Not what I wanted to do. Tornado warning expired. Storms are in the process of merging, though. It appears like, sort of, the southern one is kind of dying. Oh, never mind. The northern one is dying because the outflow from this storm is kind of killing and choking it off. But it does have some big hail on the southern one. If anything, we might see a merger from the one to the new self to the south that just developed over Weldona is moving northeast. Might merge into this storm and kick it off for some sort of tornado risk. Oh wow, they wildly updated the enhanced risk. Look at that. That's a lot different now. Sending into eastern Kansas or western Kansas. Yeah, it looks good. That looks like good. I'm gonna deliver it like that. That's it's awesome. But like for some reason half the like towards the end of like the video that I'm working on is just me like saying a whole bunch of like a whole bunch of whoo and oh man that looks beautiful like whatnot like just being blown away by my own creation by the short video that I made. I'm gonna keep it in like that. I'm gonna keep it like that. It's funny. Besides, I doubt anyone is watching that long. Do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing further south, also further west or east. I mean, sorry, for Nebraska there. Ooh, look at that. I wonder if that will get a tornado warning. That should probably get tornado warned. Just to the south of Waneta. Look at that rotation. Oh man. Look at that rotation. I'd be kind of surprised if it doesn't get a tornado warning here soon. Unless there's no surface-based instability, which that could definitely be a possibility. Which is why I need to look at mesoscale analysis. Oh, that's the archive. I don't want that one. This is close enough. Okay, no, there's certainly surface-based instability. Look at that rotating. It's absolutely surface-based. Look at that rotation. Thankfully, it's over mostly rural areas. I'm honestly kind of surprised it doesn't have a tornado warning. What about Wyoming? Some some messy hailer storms. Let's see, let's go down here in New Mexico. Yeah, just some more messy severe thunderstorms. They look like they have small hail, probably some gusty winds, mostly being severe warned for damaging wind gusts. Leave it down here. We do have a tornado watch, so it does continue. We'll keep an eye on this storm. Does that at least have Tor possible on it? Let's check. Doesn't really give me that information on here. I have to kind of check on here. Okay, it won't give me that information either. It does have Tor possible tag on it. I'm very surprised it's not tornado warned right now. There wasn't at least tornado warned earlier, because look at that. Wonder if Twitter will say anything about that. It's no correlation coefficient drop, so it's probably not on the ground. What? It's weird. Why would someone make that? Oh yeah, there was a confirmed tornado near Fleming. Holy crap. Holy crap, dude. There's a pretty much like intense devastation in Venezuela from apparently two powerful earthquakes that struck. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's awful. It's actually awful. This is horrible. Still churning real strong there. Look at that rotation. Still honestly surprised it's not 20. Oh, never mind. It's looking at earlier radar frames. Take back everything I just said. Even still, like it's still rotating quite nicely. It is weaker, not as impressive as before, but it's certainly there, it's certainly trying. Thankfully, it's over mostly rural areas. So if it does put down an unwarned tornado, then it likely won't strike anything. Hopefully until they get it warned, because that's if an unwarned tornado does get put down, which right now there is no tornado on the ground, at least as far as I can tell. There's no tornado warning just yet. And now it definitely doesn't look as impressive anymore. Okay. None of these storms are very impressive. Strong damaging wind gusts around McAllister, New Mexico. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for McAllister, Forest, uh, Weber and Field, or Weber City and Field, New Mexico. Mostly being warned for strong damaging wind gusts and probably some small hail. Okay, 1 inch hail isn't very small, but it looks that way on radar. Um, how am I not tired yet? I don't know. Look at this. This is really messy. You can tell that it's getting over sheared here. A ton of little small couplets that are not organized, over sheared. Um, Possibly even a result of convective inhibition. I don't have much hope for this. It's very messy. It's mostly just a damaging wind gust threat and a large hail threat. With this storm being warned for 1.5-inch hail for Fort Morgan, Snyder, Hill Rose, Brush, Log Lane Village, Colorado. And another severe thunderstorm warning in Wyoming, still going on. Still this storm, very outflow dominant, messy, northeast trajectory. Mostly for rural areas though, except for Garrett. Is that Garrett? Yeah, Garrett, Wyoming. This is being warned for 1.5-inch hail. And a whole bunch of storm systems across Nebraska here. This one that was rotating, it's still trying to rotate here. It's hooking back up again. .5-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Some of these other ones. This one for Moorfield, Curtis, Stockville, Maywood, Nebraska. Warned for 1.5-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. Look at this. One's very broad, unorganized rotation just to the south of Dar. Severe thunderstorm warning for Edis and Dar and Farnham, Nebraska, being warned for 1-inch and what is this? 1.25-inch hail on this storm simultaneously, I guess. North Platte and Maxwell, mostly outflow dominant storm. Mostly being warned for 1.25-inch and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. Let's look at the new outlook though, because Storm Prediction Center did update their outlook, and we haven't looked at it yet, so. That's what the enhanced risk now looks like. They moved it much further southeast, like insanely further southeast. It was up here, now barely, like whatever, like majority of that enhanced risk region is not even in that enhanced risk region anymore. Now it's part of Nebraska and even into eastern Kansas. Still 5% tornado risk for extremely northeastern Colorado. 30% SIG 1 damaging wind gust threat for that enhanced risk region across eastern Colorado and western Kansas. And okay, I sort of thought they would. SIG 1, 30% risk for large hail. So still seeing the risk for scattered large hail, but no longer the possibility of intensity level 2 or SIG 2 large hail. So mostly just seeing that similar risk for large hail, which I guess sort of makes sense especially with how storms are going. We definitely didn't see hail as large as we thought we were. I am still going to keep an eye on this storm though. This one right here. The one that's for Stratton and Trenton, Nebraska. You can kind of see that it is rotating there. And it has a nice supercellular look to it as well. Just going to keep an eye on it. Oh, wait. Hold on. There you go. As I was saying, we're going to keep an eye on this storm right here, this one. I've kind of been keeping an eye on for a while now. Kind of see it rotating there. Trying to remain organized, it looks like, but also has a classic supercellular look to it. The one that's currently severe thunderstorm warned for Trenton and Stratton, Nebraska. No, I forgot to change the... Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. I had to change the title of the video that I was posting because it still said June 21st, 2026 tornado outbreak as it happened. Instead of June 22nd, 2026 huge hail as it happened. I don't know why, but for some reason... Oh, that's weird. Why does that hurt? My neck kind of hurts. Storm is getting more robust over time. I don't. That's the thing. I don't have a shrimp back. My posture is pretty decent right now, actually. You heard me fix it. Well, you can believe whatever you want to believe. Yeah, now rotation doesn't look as good anymore. It's kind of dying off. That's a byproduct of the convective inhibition across the area, really taking a hold of the environment, as I was talking about earlier. That convective inhibition is going to be ruthless, and it's already doing its thing. Oh no. Mm-hmm. There are some storms firing up in different areas, like southeastern Wyoming, and then just to the south of Castle Rock and west of Larkspur, Colorado. I just hate how horrible all my thumbnails look for some reason. They're always so blurry whenever the video actually gets posted. All right, I'm gonna go get a Dr. Pepper, and then I'm gonna see how much longer I could go from there. Okay, I'm back. As far as storms go, keeping an eye on this one. Think might be elevated though. It looks to be rather elevated. Um, I think it's time that we probably give ourselves a good old forecasting break just to see, or not forecasting, nowcasting more or less. Why is it not? Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Okay. Pivotal weather. Okay, so does it appear that these storms are supposed to experience some upscale growth? Okay, that's how the okay, that's why they updated the enhanced risks to look like that. For what maybe an MCS that develops over the next couple of hours and moves south through the middle of the night and into the early morning hours across eastern Kansas. It's going to be mostly damaging wind gust threat and large hail. As far as tornadoes go, I'm just going to quickly look at composite parameters for that. As of right now, I mean, there is still the possibility, perhaps, that we see some sort of tornado threat materialize. Though convective inhibition is really taking a strong stance across the environment. Like, just look at that. There's a ton of convective inhibition here. It's only going to get stronger. Maybe a marginal tornado threat. However, it does look like a lot of these storms are probably going to be outflow dominant. Given the convective inhibition, probably a very, very minimal tornado threat as these storms develop into an MCS. And the tornado threat's only going to decrease whenever they actually do develop into some sort of MCS-like feature. Oh, by the way, an update on the. Hold on, let me get rid of this. An update on the stickers I was ordering for my vehicle. They are now estimated to arrive a week late. They're supposed to get here on the 30th. That is a week late. Like there's a reason why I put the destination for the stickers where they were, and now I'm gonna have to go. It's gonna be more inconvenient for me to actually get them now, which is annoying. That's okay. It's okay. Let's see. This is being warned for 2-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I can definitely see that. It's mostly outflow dominant. Severe thunderstorm warning for Hill, Ross, and Brush. Again, Brush, Colorado, Hill, Ross, Colorado, and also just extended further south to the north of Woodrow, Colorado. Oh, my phone just died. Again, 2-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And then we have these new cells that are developing. At least this new cell that's developing to the south of. Ooh, that's the terminal radar. Don't want that. To the south of Castle Rock and just over Larkspur, Colorado. I'm assuming being warned for hail. Surprising, especially given the fact that it doesn't even look to have. It barely has above 50 dBz, 55 dBz, not even 60 dBz, I don't think. So I'm not entirely too. And yeah, correlation coefficient also doesn't back that up. That's surprising. And you have this storm here. Looks to be rather gusty winds on this storm. Severe damaging wind gusts. It's currently being warned for sorry, hold on. 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I also have some storms down here. Looks like they might get a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. Actually, hold on. Never mind, I take that back. Doesn't really look like there's too much of a damaging wind gust threat with these storms. More of a hail risk, maybe some small hail, maybe some gusty winds as well, but nothing too severe. Further south, around Dora, Dora and Causey, New Mexico, and then Littlefield, Texas. What about the storm in Wyoming? It's very outflow dominant, but it's currently being warned for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. About this storm right here. Severe thunderstorm warning for Amherst and Holyoke. I don't know how you pronounce that. Colorado, being warned for 1.5-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. Then over here, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings to Nebraska. A severe thunderstorm warning for Brady and approaching Moorfield and Farnham. Nebraska. Currently being warned for 1.75-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. And severe thunderstorm warning for Elwood and Smithfield, Nebraska. Looks to be one of the more robust storms currently ongoing. Currently being warned for 70-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts and 1.25-inch hail, which makes sense. So yeah, certainly the hail risk certainly underperformed than what was expected today, with hail sizes that were forecasted to get maybe up to 3-4 inches. It's definitely not that anymore. Definitely underperformed quite a bit. Actually, honestly, I feel like it underperformed compared to yesterday too. I felt like we had less shear compared to yesterday. If anything, it might be the instability. I think instability might have limited the threat a bit more, and possibly the moisture. I think we did have less moisture compared to yesterday. I can't remember. Um, or are any of these even considerable severe thunderstorm warnings anymore? Yeah, we have 4 considerable severe thunder. Actually, yeah, we have a couple of considerable. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. I'll keep an eye on the Elwood storm. That's what I'll keep an eye on. I need to. Okay, so I have a little thing for a bunch of my forecasting tools on the Stream Deck, and I'm missing some integral things. Notably, um, href, mesoanalysis, and StormNet. Enter URL. Damn it. Why is it? Okay. Yeah, StormNet really isn't giving off too much of a tornado threat as I thought. It does look like one might materialize much later on in the evening, like towards midnight and later than midnight, which I will not be awake for. I will have to go to sleep because I have work tomorrow. Bro, I'm getting really tired, so I might pass out as I'm watching this. Yeah, that's okay. I need to go to bed here soon anyways, so I'm just trying to set some stuff up. There's really not going to be too much of a tornado threat anymore. It's just going to be severe thunderstorms, but I'm just keeping an eye on this storm in particular. There, I've added more forecasting tools to my Stream Deck. Sweet. My Stream Deck grows. But I think now it's finally time for me to go end the stream, go to bed. So thank you for tuning in. And yeah, no one else is tuned in. Okay, so see ya.